All right, guys, part 2 of our math video. We're going to go into some multiplication, okay? We are going to start with some single digit multiplication. I'm going to show you some tricks with double digit multiplication, okay? And you can also take the double digit times the double digit multiplication I'd show you and apply that to bigger numbers, okay? And I will show you how. All right. Multiplication is one of my favorite things. And the reason why is because you can always have fun with multiplication. Okay, you guys ready? Let's just start kind of basic, all right? Let's just do something kind of simple. Because there's several ways you can work out multiplication. I think that's why I like it so much, because there's so many different ways you can get the answer, okay? So let's start simple. Okay, so let's look at 5 times 3. Now, one thing we know about multiplication is if I know what 5 times 3 is, I know what 3 times 5 is, okay? So, I can do one or two things. I can make my tic-tac-toe that you guys should all be familiar with if you work with me. Okay, so our tic-tac-toe makes our lines, okay? And then I always put my dots on top of the number on top. That way I don't get confused, okay? So I'm working with 5s. All right, so I'm going to put 5 dots. Okay, now, I see a lot of mistakes here once we get going. Everybody always gets the first number right, okay? Because we know we start with the digit we're working with, right? And then I see students make a really big mistake. They might go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then they put 9 here, okay? You always start with the number and count like this. So you go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. All right. Now, another trick is you can always just count up by 5s, right? And fill this information out. All right. So you can say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, right? And it continues. Now, some students ask me, Miss Sadel, do I just need to make 9 boxes? You can if your problem's small. But what if you get a huge problem? What if it was like 5 times 19 or something? You could make 19 boxes, okay? This is not, it can go on and on and on, guys. So don't ever just think that it stops there. I can make as many boxes as I want, okay? And the cool thing about 5s is I can just count up. So I can get to that box pretty quickly, right? Okay? So just remember a few of those things. All right. Because as you know, multiplication does get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? It grows and grows and grows. And then before you know it, you're multiplying like 100 times 15 or something, okay? But we have other strategies for when the numbers get big. This is nice for kind of smaller numbers. And it's just a nice resource to have in case you get confused. Now, I also have a lot of students do this. Well, 5 times 3 is 10, okay? So what I like to tell students to do is go back and just label your boxes. So put like a little number inside your box, okay? Okay, and so on. And if you had more boxes, you would label those. So as you see, I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and so on. Now, because my problem is 5 times 3, I know I need to go to the right, third box, okay? So I go to the third box and I know my answer is 15. Okay, does that make sense? So if I were to change this number to 7, what would I need to do? Very good. Go to my 7 box and get my answer. Okay? You're always counting from one side all the way down, okay? So follow that process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's always best just go ahead and label your boxes, okay? That way you don't get confused. And always, always remember when you're doing tic-tac-toe, okay, you're just counting up. So I start from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, okay? Always, always, always. That's not going to change, all right? Now, let's get into a little bit bigger multiplication, because by 3rd and 4th and 5th grade, you're going to see double-digit multiplying. Okay? Now, I really like tic-tac-toe, and I also like to use what we call the box method. So, let's just kind of take a 2-digit times a 2-digit, and let me show you. Actually, back up. Let's take a 2-digit times a 1-digit, and let me show you that first, okay? So what if we had 12 times 3? Okay. Let me show you another way you could work this out. Yes, we could do tic-tac-toe, you're correct. But I'm going to show you another way, just so you have another resource to use, okay? I know I always start with my number on top, even though either way I'm going to get the same answer, right? Because we know 12 times 3 is going to give me the same answer as 3 times 12, okay? So I'm going to make 12 circles, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And y'all are probably thinking, Miss Sadel, why didn't you just make 3 circles and put 12 in it? And you can, and that's okay. You can do it that way also. I just want to show you this way, okay? Just so you kind of know. Then my bottom number tells me how many friends need to go in my circles, okay? So I'm putting 3 friends in each of my circles, okay? Right? Very good. Right, if I wanted to do it the other way, I could have just put 3 circles, right, and put 12 friends in each circle. Either way, you're going to get the right answer, okay? Then I go back and count my circles, all right? And you should get 36, okay? Now, let me show you another way. You could possibly do this if this confuses you, or you feel like it takes up too much time. Remember, multiplication is just another word for repeated addition, okay? So all this really means, 12 times 3 means I'm just taking 12 and adding 12 again and adding 12 again. That's all it's telling me, okay? Is I need to take 12 times 3 is the same as saying 12 plus 12 plus 12, right? Does that make sense? Okay. That's just another way to look at multiplication. So, what if I had like 15 times 4? How could I write this like I did this one? Repeated addition. 15 times 4. Right. I take my big number. Okay, start with that. And my bottom number tells me how many times I need to add it. Okay, which is 4. Okay. And then y'all can do what I taught y'all with the addition. Put your line down, do your dots if you need to, or we got lucky and got 5s, we could just count up 5, 10, 15, 20. Got to bring my 2 next door, right? Circle him so we don't forget. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, so we know 15 times 4 is 60. All right. Now, could I still draw 15 circles and put 4 dots? Or 4 big circles and 15 dots in each? Yes, I could. Both ways will get you the same answer, okay? I just want to show you different ways to do math. Okay. Or I can show you the way I learned when I was in school. Okay. So 15 times 4. Now, you could also do it this way also. 15 times 4, okay? Now, I do suggest if you're going to do multiplication like I'm about to show you, you really, really, really need to practice your multiplication facts, okay? At least all the way up to 12, all right? It's very, very, very important because the more you know your multiplication facts, the quicker you will be able to figure out these problems, and it's just a lot easier instead of having to draw all that stuff out. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with drawing it out. If you have to do that, that is still okay. I'm just suggesting that it is better if you can memorize your multiplication facts, okay? And there are some tricks to learn when you're doing that, and you'll figure them out as you go through them, okay? So, because Miss Sadel knows her multiplication facts, and most of you probably know your fives, you know 5 times 4 is 20, okay? Just like addition. If I have my 20, I cannot put 20 here like that, right? We know that. But I can leave my 1, and the same thing applies. I take my 2 up top. But I don't add down. We're multiplying, so it looks different. So I just did this, and now I've got to do the butterfly. We got to do this. Now, only thing we're adding is the top number, okay? But I still have to multiply 4 times 1. And remember what Miss Sadel taught you. Anything times 1 is that number. So 4 times 1 is 4. 7 times 1 is 7. 10 times 1 is 10. Okay, always remember, anything times itself, 1, is that number, okay? So 4 times 1 is 4, good. And then we still have to add our what? 2. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Okay, and I still got 60. And remember when we did it a while ago, adding, we still got 60. So now you know several ways you can work out this problem. Now, I'm going to show you one last way. And this is called box method. Box method works really, really well when you have 2-digit times 2-digit. So let me show you. 23 times 31. Okay, so that's our problem. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I'm going to need 4 boxes. So I'm just going to make a square. Okay. All right. Then I always like to take my top number and break it down first. Okay. You're decomposing the number. All right. All right. So I got 23. Does anybody know how to decompose 23? So what I mean when I say decompose, I have to put the 3 in the ones place, which would be over here, right? Okay, our ones place. So put the 3 by itself. And then our 2's in the tens place. So I'm going to represent it as a 10. Kind of like expanded form. Okay? So if I said 20 plus 3, that means the same thing as 23 in math, right? Okay? Now we're going to do that with 30, but we're going to go down. Okay? So I put my 1 in the ones place, okay? And then my 30 goes up here. Okay? Okay, are we good so far? It's kind of like expanded form, guys, when you expand the number out, okay? And as the numbers get bigger, it's the same concept, okay? We would just make more squares. So let's work this out. So the way this works is you do these 2 numbers to get to this box. This number times this number to get to this box. Then you go down, okay? So let's just start with, 30 times 20 looks huge, right? Do not stress. Because you have 2 zeros, there's a little trick, okay? You can just say 3 times 2 is 6. Then add your, zeros. Okay? Perfect. Same thing. 3 times 3 is 9. Then add my 0. Okay, and do the same down here. Okay, 20 times 1, right, is 20. Okay, and then 3 times 1 is 3. Now, all I'm going to do is take these numbers and add them up on this side. I always suggest taking your greatest number and writing it first. Okay, what's your next greatest number? Right, 90. Okay, and make sure as you're writing your numbers, you are putting them in the correct place value. That is very, very important, guys. You have to make sure you do that. Okay, now we have 20, right, and then 3. Okay, then you just add them up. Okay, make sure everything's in the right place value. So I have 3. Oh, I got 11. What do? Take it next door. Okay. So my answer is 713. Okay. The same thing would be if you had a bigger number. Say you had 102 times that, you would just make 6 boxes. Okay, and the numbers just get bigger, you just make more boxes, all right? I will make another video with that showing you guys how to do that, all right? Okay, awesome work today. I hope that wasn't too much for you guys. I just want to show you some strategies and things that we've been learning throughout the school year that you might have forgotten since we hadn't seen each other in a few weeks. And I hope that helps each and every one of you, because math can be a little overwhelming and can be tricky, but if you have several ways you can solve a problem, I hope that helps. If there's any other ways or things or tricks you've learned or cool little things you want to show us, please post in our Google Classroom and share. I'm always looking for new ways to do math, and so if you have a way, share with us. Also, if there's anything that you are needing to learn how to do, like area, perimeter, whatever it may be that you're working on, decimals, okay, when you're multiplying decimals. I have put several videos on our Google Classroom about that, but if you want me to work it out for you and show you like I just did today, I don't mind doing that. Just go ahead and leave me a message in our Google Classroom, okay? Or you're always welcome to call or text me or email me, okay? You know I'm available. I miss you guys, and I hope that helps.